Bro looks like a Roblox character.
C.O.R.E was a first-person shooter released in the summer of 2009, along with other games such as Chinatown Wars and,
Cookie with Mama 3.
C.O.R.E was developed by No Way Studios, who is a small division of Cubic Games. And while C.O.R.E would be their first title, they believed their game would be a success. But when C.O.R.E was released to the public, it was quickly bombshelled by bad reviews.
I would use the manual from this game to wipe my own.
Wow, this is garbage.
To this day, this game has very little coverage on it aside from a few first impressions. And since nobody else seems to want to do it, I'm going to review this game. Let's start off with the single player.
C.O.R.E.'s single-player campaign is made up of 12
Action-packed levels.
It has you play as Jason Crane, a member of a military unit sent to an underground research facility after your superiors lost contact with them.
Let's start off with the controls of this game. Use the stylus to look around and aim, one of the triggers to shoot, use the B button to crouch and go through vents, and the touchscreen to interact with objects such as swiping keycards or using security cameras. You'll find health and armor scattered around each level, which can be the difference between life and death, as the enemies in this game can take a lot of hits. There are several different weapons in the campaign, like the shotgun, a laser weapon, and kick-butt rocket launcher, and several other weapons. There are also a handful of bosses scattered throughout the campaign. Some of them are laughably easy, while others actually put up quite a fight.
Ooh, do you want a cake?
What the f? C.O.R.E is a game that takes inspiration from classic shooters, such as Quake, Doom 3, and the old Alien games. This style of shooter works surprisingly well on the Nintendo DS. The frame rate isn't too shabby, and there's good map and enemy variety, I think you get the point. This game is basically a corridor shooter caught somewhere between Doom 3 and Quake 2. So, why was C.O.R.E so poorly received when it was released? I believe there are two major reasons as to why C.O.R.E failed. The first being a lack of marketing. Aside from a couple of articles and a few trailers from IGN, there was very little known about this game before its release. Another thing about C.O.R.E you must remember is that it came out in 2009. A time where first-person shooters were known for their graphics and stories, and for online multiplayer, of which C.O.R.E had neither, with only local co-op. The sad fact of the matter is that C.O.R.E is a good game that came out at a bad time, trying to recreate a genre that was currently dead and wouldn't see a resurgence for another 7 or 8 years until the release of the new Doom game, which would go on to bring this kind of first-person shooters back to life. My final thoughts on C.O.R.E is an overall solid shooter. It's not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination, but it deserved way better than what it got.